What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Diz TV. If this is your first time here, welcome home. We are so glad to have you. Today, as you can see, we are talking about hot takes. Now, if you're wondering, what the heck is a hot take? A hot take is something that can be easily debated. As in, you can swing to this side or to this side, but it is highly debated in different communities. Or, another definition of a hot take is something that's like, ooh, that's an interesting opinion. That's going against the majority opinion. Again, that's where debates come in. Before we get right into this, if you want to see a part 2, because I would absolutely love to do that, let me know in the comments down below some of your hot takes. I will answer them in another video if I get a certain amount to do a part 2, not part 3, a part 2 of this video. Let's dive right in to the first hot take. Avengers Infinity War is better than Avengers Endgame. Whew, this is a hot take. As you know, based off my Marvel ranking, that Avengers Endgame is number 1 for me and Infinity War is number 2. Now when it comes to favorites, Endgame is still my favorite. But if we're looking objectively at the movies themselves, I kind of have to agree with this hot take. I don't know. I think it's much easier to understand. Avengers Endgame is a very, very complex film. It's still a very good film, but it's a very complex film. Because of that, I think I have to agree. Let's continue on to the next hot take. We're going to dive right into the deep end with this one, and the next one is a Disney park one, which is the TTA People Mover is overrated. I don't even know where to go with that one. While I do disagree with this take, because obviously I love the People Mover. I love the People Mover. And if you're anywhere in the Disney theme park community here on YouTube, you know that the People Mover is a fan favorite among the Disney YouTube crowd. So because of that, I personally disagree with this. However, this is a big however. It used to be a really, really great spot to kind of relax, as most people, most guests did not go to the People Mover. They didn't really notice it. They saw it up above and they're like, well, can spend either, 15 minutes riding this attraction or spend 15 minutes in line to get onto Buzz Lightyear or to get onto Space Mountain. So because of that, they would go on to the other stuff and avoid the People Mover. That's why the lines were so short for a long time. And then YouTube came along, and because so many vloggers did it, people were now intrigued because, hey, if my favorite YouTuber's doing it, why don't I do it? And now the lines are crazy for it. And yeah, in that regard, the lines sometimes can get a little bit overrated. But as a whole, I gotta say no. It's one of my favorite attractions. Like, ugh. This hot take is, It's a Small World may be the worst Disney park attraction if you ignore its history. Ugh, I don't know. Like, there's a lot worse attractions that I can think of than that. Triceratops Spin is, it's just, I don't know. I feel like there's so many rides that you can pick. Now, if we're talking currently rides that are open, I kind of would have to disagree again. Yeah, sure, it's not something I would wait 45 minutes for, but it's also something like I still would go on just because it's a little bit nostalgic, and yes, that does involve history a little bit for myself as a person, because when I was like, 4 or 5, I didn't know the history of It's a Small World, that it was originally part of the 1964 World's Fair, that was, all that other stuff. So ignoring that part, just from a nostalgia perspective for moi, I have to disagree. But if we're talking attractions in general, this I'd have to disagree with. Because if you take a look at the history of all Disney park attractions, there are some terrible, terrible rides. I'm looking at you, Superstar Limo, and I'm looking at you, Journey into Your Imagination. So the last hot take is another Marvel one. The Russo brothers tried to deliver an end to Steve Rogers' arc, but it wasn't really necessary. I do have to say, one thing I like about Endgame is they tried to give everybody closure as best they could. Now, obviously, it could have went a little differently with some of the characters, because at the same time, like, I love the fact of Rogers going back in time and getting to be with Peggy and enjoying life. I love that. I think it's great. However, I don't like the idea of him leaving Bucky and Sam behind. And I don't know. It's a pretty hot take, for sure. I agree, but I also disagree at the same time. Anyway, other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you did enjoy this video. I had a lot of fun reading some of these hot takes. They are some crazy wild ones. And we only had just 4. I would love to shoot for 5 or more next time. I would really appreciate it if you could go down into the comments, give me your hot take, and I will include it in the next video. I seriously hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. And then if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe down below and hit the bell to be notified for more videos on Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, the parks, and so much more. I'll see you all in the next video. Have a magical day. May the Force be with you. All the other shebangs. See you all in the next one. Goodbye.